We're at the Ridgeview Farm on the Ridge Road in Champlain, just a stone's throw from where I reside. And we noticed that this field wasn't planted in corn this year, and figured there had to be a reason, and I guess we're finding out today. We're talking with Matt Booms, Tractor Product Specialist for
Correct.
Case IH.
Absolutely.
Where are you from? Where are you from, Matt?
So I cover a large territory. I live in the state of Michigan. Happy to be up in upstate New York here for a couple of days.
Okay, and what are we demonstrating today?
So we're showing off the line of Case IH tillage equipment and tractors, working with different growers and dairymen up here to talk about how to improve their crop production, relieve compaction, and treat Mother Nature's soil a little bit more to make her crops and growing conditions a little more productive.
All right, so treat the soil. I assume you're trying to avoid erosion and that kind of stuff. And
Reduce compaction, allow the soil to uptake more water and nutrients, allow those plants to thrive, and then eliminate erosion. Absolutely.
okay, and all this can be done with those wheels out there.
Absolutely. It takes a big horse to pull a big tillage implement, and today's producers have to get across their acres in a timely fashion when weather allows. So we use big tractors and big tillage equipment to leave a perfect finish out the back of the tool. That's relieve the compaction and allow that soil to act like a sponge and absorb water rather than to shed it and make water erosion and soil erosion where the water has to physically run off from it.
Okay. Many years ago, the farmer would get out there with his plow and plow his soil and then get the wheel harrows out. These look a little bit like wheel harrows, but they're not wheel harrows, are they?
No, sir. No, they are not. So we use a combination of discs, subsoil ripper shanks, and then leveling systems on the back of this particular deep rip tool, which allows us to reach down deep and relieve compaction, as well as incorporating corn stalks or manure in the growing zone horizon of the soil.
Yeah, I mean, you can see here there's last year's corn stalks are sitting here in the ground, so you're trying to maneuver them into the soil.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, so what you said, how deep can you go?
So this particular field has a compaction layer about 10 inches beneath the soil surface. So we set the shanks 1 inch beneath that surface so that we send the point and the wear component of that shank through the hardest part of the soil to shatter it and allow water to drain down through the subsoil.
What do you call in the shank? 'Cause those discs don't look like they're over 20 inches.
So the discs are actually 26-inch diameter.
Okay.
The next phase back on the tool, we see the big black spring packs on the top.
Right.
That is hooked to the ripper shank, and that ripper shank is now 11 inches beneath the soil surface.
Okay.
Further back is where we start to see some more discs and a leveling basket, where we use the discs to put a soft berm of soil back on the shank groove. So we put a berm over the groove that the shank made, and the basket will firm that back in, so it gives us a perfectly level finish as Mother Nature does her work through the freezing and thawing of the winter season.
Okay, so you would do this then in the fall or early winter after you've
So this is
taken the crop off?
generally a post-harvest operation.
Now, I've seen these guys harvesting here in December sometimes. Gets cold here in December. I don't know about Michigan. It's probably,
Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. One of the growers that came through this morning said they were running some tillage on Valentine's Day this year with the mild winter that we had this past year. So Mother Nature, harvest timing, moisture timing, those are all challenges that our growers face. We want to equip them with tools that can adapt to whatever Mother Nature throws at us.
I assume the first step is to make sure you're on a field that's been tiled properly.
So that was part of the strategy why this field was left fallow. They're going to do some drain tiling in here in the coming weeks. Yesterday we got a big rain shower came through, and the soil type here has actually allowed us to keep running here. So there's been pretty decent surface drainage out here. Now on the far side of the field, there's been some standing water, and that's where the tiling event that they've got scheduled will help them get more productivity out of every acre of this field.
Because 2 or 3 days ago, not too far from here in Vermont, St. Johnsbury area got over 8 inches, 8.5 inches of rain, and you just can't handle that kind of rain. Nobody
No,
can.
no.
So fortunately, we didn't get that kind of precipitation, but we did get half an inch to an inch in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So that's basically what each of these different.
So we've got multiple tractors, we've got multiple tools that accomplish different goals. So we talked about deep tillage and incorporating residue and shattering compaction with this tool.
Uh-huh.
The one, if we step around the
Yeah. If
go
you
to RTV
don't mind stepping out into the sun here. It's a upper 80s degree day with the high humidity, but I think we'll survive. All right. And this one here looks similar, a little bit smaller.
Similar, smaller, but if we notice, there's only discs and baskets. There's not as many zones of tillage.
Right.
So this is a 3 to 4 to 5 inch deep tillage tool, really to address weed cover, corn stalks, residue on the top, and incorporate that in the top area. A tool like this is designed to go fast, so as much horsepower as we have and as easy as the ride is, we can run this machine up to 10, maybe 12 miles an hour
Wow.
to get more shatter out of the soil.
So you're banging it hard here. Okay, because I
See,
imagine the
You still have,
faster you go.
you still have to be responsible.
Oh, yeah.
There's we have to realize that we've got rocks in our soils, so we need to slow down where it's very rocky. But each of the blades is on an independent arm that utilizes rubber torsion springs to allow it to relieve when we hit a rock.
So you could theoretically break one of those or damage one of those.
There is the chance, but it's minimized by independent rubber torsions on every blade.
Yeah. So if you damage one, you're not messing up the whole row. You just don't have
Correct.
to deal with that.
Correct. You can replace each blade individually. You don't have to disassemble a gang, so less downtime when things go wrong.
Now, is this one here similar to the one we looked at originally here?
So that is a smaller brother to it.
Okay.
So that is an 18-foot wide version. The one that was sunk in the ground is a 22-foot wide version.
All right. And this here has got those blades there, but that would act like a plow would in the old days.
And now we have a clear line of sight to that ripper shank with the tooth
Yeah,
that is down in
I'm referring to, yeah.
down in that 11-inch range.
That gets down there deep. So that's just on the edge, or there's several go across?
So there are shanks every 2 feet, so
Every 2
20,
feet.
24 inches on center.
Okay, so this one here is how wide? Maybe
So
12,
it is 9 shanks or 18 feet wide.
18 feet wide. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, with a farmer, obviously you're not. Well, I guess day and age, I guess you're talking to your average farmer, not the average farmer I grew up with, but average farmer in today's world. Would he need both of these types of equipment to deal with different situations, or would one of these suffice?
So very seldom is there ever a one-size-fits-all for every condition tool. One of the things we're visiting with the growers about is what is it that on their operation that they're trying to improve? Is it drainage through subsoil? Is it low yields due to compaction? Or are they just struggling to get across all of their acres between rain showers, where a tool like this with just the blades would help us get across maybe as many as 40 acres an hour?
Okay, this one, yeah. Now
The
one.
other tool, little different strategy, the ability to size residue, mix and incorporate it, but reach down and relieve compaction. That's more of an 18 to 20 acre per hour type tool. So all depends what the customer's goals are.
Now, I noticed that the blades are different here. These here aren't smooth and round. They are chopped up kind
So-
of, and
so-
these here over here are smooth, so they have different impacts when they hit the soil.
That is correct.
So you couldn't leave your little side blades up and still use this one to do what this one here was going to do.
Correct.
Okay. Now it takes a pretty good size vehicle to pull these, doesn't it?
There are. They do a lot of work in the soil. They move a lot of soil and they move at high speeds, and that takes horsepower. So out here today, the smallest tractor that we're showing off is a 470 horsepower tractor. The largest is a 580.
Okay, and you can set the, is it called GPS? What is the, when you set it?
So we are using GPS AccuSteer technology so that we set a heading out in the field and it calculates and it steers so we get across the field very, very efficiently, don't miss an inch, don't overlap any more than we want, and get our acres worked as efficiently as possible.
So does the driver have any influence on where it's going, direction, or is he
Oh,
just
absolutely.
just there to stop it, or what?
He has full control.
Okay.
Full control. He can grab the steering wheel at any point. But generally, once that operator has the ability to focus, trust that the tractor is going to drive straight, he can swivel his seat around and he can pay attention to the implement. Make sure we're not encountering rocks, not getting any plugging. Make sure that the business end, the tillage tool, is doing its job in the soil to get ready for our next crop.
Okay, so don't ever run out in front of one of these because the driver's looking in the other direction. Is that what you're saying?
We always have to operate safely. You know, when big machines are moving around, we need eye contact with that driver before we ever approach him.
Okay. All right, Matt. What else do you think people would find interesting here?
So much to see, so much to do. We're just excited to be out here with Dragoons, showing off everything that Case IH has to offer.
That's right. We're here with the Dragoons Farm Equipment, and the former owner is here. Jack Dragoon is sitting under the tent there, and of course it's owned by several layers of people. We saw Willie Drew here this morning, and I know the people from the Akies from Taylor Rental are now involved, and
Mhm.
so when I grew up, there was a Farmall dealer in mowers. There was one in Saranac. There were a whole lot of them, but equipment dealers are spaced out because
Yep.
there's only so many farmers and only so many customers.
Yes, and as the equipment's gotten larger and as there's more technology on farms, our dealers have to be knowledgeable. They have to be prompt. They have to take care of the customers and keep them running. So it's the complexity of the farm equipment dealership business has gotten more over the years. And as we wish Jack well in his retirement years, it's really great to see that the business is moving forward.
Yes. I'm glad it wasn't. We got to wrap up. We just got the official Wrap It Up award.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't. Bought by some out of towners, so to speak, and it's still locally owned, and it's nice. So okay, we gotta wrap it up. We just got the word.
That's right. We got to go.
You gotta go.
We got work to do.
You've got work to do. Just one final question. So what's going to happen to this soil between now and the fall?
So,
When I drive by here, what can I look for?
so what I would anticipate is you will see that where we've tilled, what was green and weedy will turn to a brown, and that weed cover will have been killed off mechanically without use of any chemicals.
Okay, so this won't be utilized again until it's planted next spring then.
So I would anticipate in a couple of weeks you'll be able to see some tiling machinery come in here, trenching and burying plastic tile to drain the low spots. I would anticipate there might be a manure application. We'll have to see what the grower does to manage his business, but it's all about setting the table for next year's crops.
Yep, and with Drew's Poultry, their crop is corn, as the chickens don't eat any hay.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Yep, thank you.
All right, talking to Matt Booms, and we're here at the Ridgeview Farm and Dragoons Farm Equipment, where the Case IH folks are putting on a display today.